no shot unless everyone ends up with like 4 losses each, and that's probably unlikely. He did turn in a nice game in a 49-24 win over Middle Tennessee State, but it's Middle Tennessee State, whatever. Marshall did break the top 25 this week. They will go 12-0, 13-0 after the Conference USA Championship, but they're not going to get any love.
Yeah.
They're going to go to the Little Caesars Bowl or wherever the hell it is up in Ford Field, and that's it.
And be happy they have the opportunity, darn it.
Now, Cato, the thing is about him is that I read a couple of the local beat writers, and they were saying that Cato is a team player first, isn't too boisterous, doesn't want the limelight, because he could easily be putting up 500 yards passing and 6 touchdowns a game to possibly get into the Heisman conversation. But apparently he's perfectly content just putting up his old 300, 3 touchdowns, and get the W.
Yep.
And that's kind of admirable in a way.
Kind of.
Yeah, but you think if you're going to win anyways, you may as well just jack fools, right?
Yeah, you may as well. Why not run up the score as much as you can? Hey, what do you think of any possibility? I mean, let's just think outside the box here. Is there any world in which Jameis Winston is still in contention for a second Heisman?
Well, first you'd have to stay out of trouble.
Right.
Have to, and I mean like absolutely nothing. No like stupid Burger King incidents or Pelican incidents.
Yeah. I'm feeling like he would need to be almost vindicated.
I think he would have to put up some just ridiculous stats. Florida State would have to run the table. And even then, I still think he's an underdog. I guess with Gurley gone, or Gone Gurley.
I just read that book.
Oh, did you? We just saw the movie. The wife read the book. It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah. Was the movie crazy?
It was. Apparently, on the earlier versions, you could see Affleck dong, except they must have cut it out because there was no Affleck dong.
Well, that's okay. If there's one dong I don't want to see, it's probably his, so that's cool.
But I think he might merit an invite to New York just for appearance's sake, and with Gurley out of the picture, odds are even better now, but I don't think they can give it to him twice.
Yeah. No, they were embarrassed. I mean, they were probably pretty embarrassed by Manziel, and then they were even more embarrassed this past year by Winston.
Maybe they're going to be turned off about giving it to freshmen after the past 2 freshmen have been duds.
That could very well definitely just stop that in its tracks.
Because the Heisman Trophy, more than I think any other award, is kind of this college football ambassadorship. I mean, they stripped O.J. Simpson of his, even though I think he had already sold it or had it stolen, whatever. And Reggie Bush, they took his away. I don't think they're ever going to give it to 2 times to a guy unless they know 100% that this guy can be the face of the Heisman Trophy. Like if Tebow had a decent senior season, I could have seen them giving it to him twice because the Archie Griffin is still the only 2-time winner. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, there would have to be, I think, a lot of things to fall the right way for that to happen this time around.
All right, real quick before we hit a break, Final Four watch. Who is in your top 4 currently, Claire?
Who is in your top 4 currently?
Well, Arizona is gone because their kicker shanked a potential game-winning field goal, and he got a bunch of Twitter shade, which is very unfortunate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
People are idiots. But right now, my top 4 is number 1, Mississippi State. They still have at number 7, Bama, and at number 3, Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl to finish out the season on the schedule. It should be interesting. I think they can win both games, but we'll see. Number 2, Florida State. If they survive, number 5, Notre Dame coming in like you don't think they will. They don't have any ranked opponents left that should run the table. Number 9, Oregon. I think they still will run the table. They only have number 23, Stanford in Eugene, and at number 20, Utah left and the conference championship. And also number 4, Baylor winning. They basically beat TCU in a basketball game, which is – see, I don't know if that was entertaining to watch, or if it was just disgusting because there's no defense.
It's awful. I mean, can somebody just please stop somebody? That
61-58.
It's ridiculous.
Both teams scored double digits in every single quarter.
It's crazy. There are people out there who like that, and that's fine. But to people who actually like watching a defensive line, it gets boring to me.
Big 12 going to Big 12.
They are. That's how they do.
All right. But Baylor is at number 11 Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State, number 15, and number 14 Kansas State to end the year. So a pretty decent schedule coming up. I like their chances if they run the table. Big 12, no conference championship game. And then kind of on the bubble, number 8 Michigan State. Their only real game is number 13 Ohio State at home in the next 3 weeks or in 3 weeks. Ole Miss should come into the Egg Bowl 11-0. They still have a game with Auburn on November 1st. And Notre Dame. They got to win this game, though.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, if
they will drop like a rock if they don't.
Right, absolutely. If Notre Dame wins this game, then I'm definitely keeping them in my playoff bracket. Mississippi State, you can't ignore them. Baylor, I don't know. It almost feels like I don't even want them to be there. I don't want to watch this team have to outscore their opponent and it become just a fling the ball down the field test.
Now, how great would an Oregon-Baylor playoff game be?
Okay, rewind. Actually, that might be a lot of fun.
96, 80, 94.
That could be. Yeah, that would be actually quite a bit of fun. But at the same time, Baylor's defense is so atrocious. I don't even like to watch them play football. It's just, it's almost as bad as watching A&M's defense play football. It's just sad.
Sour grapes.
Yeah, all totally right, sour grapes.
So to recap, who's your top 4 right now or in your final 4?
Mississippi State. I have Notre Dame. I have Baylor as well. And I am replacing my double SEC with another SEC. I'm going to go crazy and say Ole Miss. Both the Mississippis.
What?
You heard me.
What is happening? All right, so how does this play out? They both come into the Egg Bowl undefeated. One side loses a close game and still gets in?
Yep. Because there aren't going to be that many undefeated teams available who have played worthy opponents that these two have beaten already and will continue to beat.
Yes, maybe.
It's maybe.
Mississippi State.
What?
Especially Mississippi State. They have a very impressive resume already.
Well.
But you just watch, the week before the Egg Bowl, Ole Miss will lose at Arkansas.
Well, then I'll change my predictions. I hate predictions. I hate them so much.
50. All right, I predict that we're going to go to break. We'll BRB, Claire-vs-Carlson show back in a bit. And coming back from the first break, Claire-vs-Carlson show, and Claire just looked up what the Egg Bowl actually means, and now it's sponsored by the Mississippi Department of Natural Resources.
Is that a product of the state of Mississippi, eggs?
I don't know. I thought you came up with a very descriptive description.
Okay, the thing is Wikipedia has the whole thing here, but then it says, so there's this huge fight in 1926 when Ole Miss ended their 13-game losing streak and beat what was Mississippi A&M and it's now Mississippi State. Ole Miss fans rushed the field trying to tear goalposts down, blah, 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 blah. To prevent such events in the future, the schools created the golden egg. So to prevent mass destruction, they created a trophy.
Now, that would be such a Mississippi college football story because Ole Miss breaking a 13-game losing streak and then deciding to tear down the goalpost because these two teams have been bad.
Yeah.
In recent memory. I mean, Archie Manning a little bit, Eli Manning a little bit, errors at Ole Miss aside. These teams have been pretty much garbage.
Yeah. Well, they're...
And what about the blind side?
Nice. Very
Coach
nice.
Orgeron.
So, I don't know. They have some weird... It's supposed to look like a football, but it looks like an egg, and they call it the Egg Bowl because this trophy is ugly.
You look like a football.
No, you look like a football.
Speaking of other things that kind of look like football, our football teams are kind of looking like football teams, but they suck.
Yeah, they do. Our teams are awful. Oh, my God.
The Texans fall to the Colts, even though I was so hopeful. Thursday Night Football seems like so long ago, but I was so hopeful that they were going to come back, but Fitz tragedy struck.
Okay. That team was down 24-0 in the first quarter.
Yes, ma'am.
Bill O'Brien said all offseason, the goal of this team is to not put the game in Ryan Fitzpatrick's hands. And what do they do every freaking week? The defense is the one who let the Colts go up 24 points. It wasn't Ryan Fitzpatrick who did that. I am not saying he is a good quarterback. I am saying he is an adequate quarterback under proper circumstances.
And J.J. Watt.
Yeah, I know. A sigh.
That is disgusting.
He's awfully, awfully, awfully good. Yeah, he's pretty amazing.
And it feels, I kind of feel bad for him because even though he is making quarterback money, he's the lone wolf on that team.
Well, Arian Foster.
And
he's the third running back in the NFL, and he didn't even play all the games this season.
Now, despite J.J. Watt's Herculean efforts and highlight reel plays like 2 or 3 times a game, his defense around him ain't that great.
No.
We'll see when Clowney gets back. And that offense, besides Foster, the best quarterback in Texans history is Matt Schaub. And that's kind of saying something.
The Texans have a very short history, okay? And they haven't always made good decisions at the quarterback position.
No, but Andre Johnson has put up the numbers that he's put up in his career, and his best quarterback has been Matt Schaub.
Right. That's a
Think
fact.
about that. That's crazy.
It is crazy. But what are you going to do? I don't know. Apparently live with it.
Well, Andre Johnson in a couple of years can go back to Miami and get his jersey retired in front of like 8 people.
Don't say that. That makes me sad for his future.
He's from the U.
I know he's from the U, but I don't want to think about
the U
him
being the U.
I don't want to think about him going to go have his jersey retired.
All right, but on that last drive, Texans were down 33-28, 2 minutes to go in the shadow of their own end zone. Fitzpatrick gets them moving, but then gets stripped of the ball. And then DeAndre Hopkins. Don't get me started on him, because not only did he only get 2 targets for 1 catch for 12 yards, or 2 catches for 12 yards, whatever. It was a very bad fantasy day for Andy, and not upset about that. But his effort in walking towards that fumble.
Yeah, that was sad. That was embarrassing.
Now, I really hope he got torn apart on Houston local radio down there by the local Smokies.
Well, I haven't even gotten the opportunity to listen to more than like an hour of talk radio, but I am absolutely certain, just from what I saw on Twitter, he got ripped a new one by fans and talking heads. So
I mean, his nonchalantness of going for